Welcome back, True Seeker. A lot of people are calling it the worst sports trade in history, trading a young superstar, Luka Doncic, in the prime of his career to the Lakers, the team with all those trophies like the Celtics. It's reminiscent how the Yankees throughout history have sucked up the best players in the league, at least so as the fans were told. And personally, for me, when I watch Luca, it just reminds me of Tom Brady. Really slow guy who seems like he'd never exist in the league outside of the script, which these pro sports are. And again, with regards to the script, I want you to see how perfect his debut against the Utah Jazz is in light of Kobe Bryant, the Laker star who, so we were told, died in a helicopter crash. The Black Mamba, whose team just the day before Luka's debut won Super Bowl 59, making his Eagles 2-3. Again, Kobe from Philadelphia. But a day after his team wins the Super Bowl, Luka debuting with the Lakers, and the last game that Kobe went to as a spectator after he'd retired to watch his Lakers play. Who were the Lakers playing that night? They were playing the Dallas Mavericks and Luka Doncic. We're going to look at how perfect all of this is and just what a script, most fans are overlooking. By the way, just before we get into this, again, we like to talk about gematria. There are 4 base ciphers of the English language. You want to know all 4. Black Mamba, 59. Super Bowl 59, won by his favorite team. Keep in mind, a Black Mamba is a snake. We just started the Year of the Snake, which began with a helicopter crashing into a plane with 67 dead people 3 days after Kobe's death, when they said 3 of those people were on the helicopter. Black Mamba, 67 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse numerology. Black Mamba, 59 when you just take the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26. So the 4 base ciphers, again, are the alphabetic order, the reverse alphabetic order. Black Mamba's 211 there, the 47th prime. Kobe died on a 47 date numerology. January 26, 20, 1 plus 26 plus 20. Again, alphabetic order with numerology, Black Mamba 23. His Eagles got to 2-3 in Super Bowls. And again, Black Mamba also 67. Super Bowl LIX, which is team 1, 67. They defeated Kansas City, 67. So, the day after the big pinnacle sports event of the year, NBA season's winding down. The All-Star break's just ahead. The playoffs will be here before you know it. And again, the sports world is just in disbelief that the Mavericks would ship their future away for Anthony Davis, who is a superstar in his own right. Remember, Anthony Davis joined the Lakers the year Kobe died. Kobe, in his last year after he retired, he put out the Nike shoe, the Kobe Bryant After Death shoe. And then the Lakers signed AD, like After Death's abbreviated AD. The year of his supposed death. Again, Kobe dead at 41, traveling from Catholic Mass on the Pope's 41st day of his age. LeBron goes on to win the finals that season exactly 41 weeks after his own birthday on Father-Daughter Day, which the season got shifted to. The finals got shifted a long ways deeper into the year because of the supposed Cooties 19 or the Corona. And remember, they buried Kobe in Corona Del Mar, in an unmarked grave. You can't even find where Kobe's grave is on this earth, But look at this, you guys. Look how perfect it is. So Kobe's last game that he attended as a spectator, again, it was the Lakers playing the Mavericks. The Lakers beat the Mavericks by 13. We call LA and Dallas the 13 cities. A lot of 13 rituals with those cities. But if you measure from that day to the day of the trade, they traded Luka Doncic to the Lakers February 1st. He's going to make his debut today. By the way, he's going to make his debut with the Lakers today, the 41st day of the year. Kobe dead at 41. 41's a huge number with the Super Bowl. Eagles have now won 2 Super Bowls. They won their first one with 41 points. That's when Kobe was still breathing. And I think he is still breathing, honestly. That unmarked grave, I don't know about all that. Again, go back to the image of Kobe taking off from the airport that day, John Wayne Airport, named after an actor. The helicopter that he took off in doesn't look like the one that was reported crashed in the desert there. But anyhow, Anyhow, Kobe, from the day he witnessed the last game, Lakers versus Doncic, to the trade, exactly 266 weeks on the nose. And remember, 266 isn't an arbitrary number. Kobe died at age 41 on the Pope's 41st day of his age. Pope Francis is the 266th Pope. And again, the Jesuit motto, Isus hominum salvator, equals 266 in Gematria. Pope Francis, the first publicly Jesuit Pope, when he spoke in the nation's capital, he got the 266th, or he spoke there on the 266th day of the year, September 23rd, 2015. And the Wizards season, let me pull up this real quick. Did you see what the Wizards did right after the helicopter crash? Hold on, let me rewind this. The helicopter crash was January 29th. Wizards, Lakers. Wizards just happened to get their 41st loss the day after the helicopter crash, where 3 died on the chopper 3 days after Kobe's death anniversary in a chopper. When again, the Eagles social media seemed to mock Kobe's death in a helicopter. Let me pull this up real quick. Again, if you missed this is the day that the Eagles advanced to their 5th Super Bowl on the 5th death anniversary of Kobe, who, of course, played in the NBA game of 5-on-5. They had to post 59 minutes after the hour this picture. A helicopter just dropped down to say, "Go Birds." I mean, come on, man. But again, just understanding the ritualism. Scripted news, scripted sports, and seemingly the only people who aren't getting it are the purposefully made brain-dead Americans, which is sad. We're trying to give a jump start to these American minds that are saturated with nothing but shit, poor diets, lack of sleep, and poor educations. But yeah, seriously, you got to say, what are the odds that the Wizards, the Washington, D.C. Wizards, where the wreck happened, would get their 41st loss versus Kobe's team the very next day? What are the odds of that? I mean, seriously, what are the odds of that? And isn't that just a god-awful record? 6-41. Their 47th game of the year, you guys. Their 47th game of the year. Again, Black Mamba, 211. 211, the 47th prime number. Black Mamba dead. The day that Kobe died had 47 and 67 date numerology. January 26, 2020. 1 plus 26 plus 20 plus 20 is 67. The abbreviated date numerology, January 26, 20. 1 plus 26 plus 20, 47. And Calabasas, where his chopper supposedly crashed, also 59 and 67, as we covered, overlapping with Black Mamba. And the 14 fits in because Snake is 14. And here we are in the year of the Snake. So, okay. Again, the perfect ritual, right? Just one more time. Make sure we're keeping all straight here. From the day that Kobe went to his last Lakers game to the trade for Luka, again, that last Lakers game he went to, Luka was playing against his Lakers, exactly 266 weeks. Kobe died in a 41 ritual synced with the 266th Pope. Here's where it gets better. Look at Luka's career regular season record as he joins the Lakers. This is Luka's record at the moment. Oh, excuse me, not just regular season. This is Luka's all-time record, regular season and postseason. His total record in the NBA, he's on 265 wins. His next win is just going to happen to be 266 with the Lakers. And remember, Isus hominum salvator, 266. As we're always explaining, the Jesuits run the show. These numbers are only important to them. They are also the people who gave us the calendar and the language. They serve the Catholic Church. Kobe's death was traveling from Catholic Mass on a Sunday. The 207 is also interesting because that's the number that's associated with Art of War, which is the text that a lot of people know of and associated with Sun Tzu, like the Jesuit logos, the sun. Like, again, Kobe died on a Sunday. And Kobe died the Sunday before Super Bowl 54. Again, sun equals 54. Gianna Bryant equals 54. Kobe being Bryant 54. Again, the ritual they did last night with Fly Eagles Fly 54. With A.J. Brown's 54th career touchdown with 1:35 on the clock. And that goes with Kobe being Bryant, who was singing Fly Eagles Fly when they won Super Bowl 52. But okay, Luka's next win just happens to be 266. And again, I know by the time this video is done, I'll read the comments. Somebody will be like, "What is the point of knowing this?" And I'll be like, what is going on in that person's mind? Well, what wouldn't be the point of knowing this? The ritualism, the deaths, who's doing the scripting, how scripted it all is. Here, let's continue. For that person who has that question right now, who can't answer the obvious, maybe if we just keep going. How about that big fat 77 right there? What season are the Lakers in right now? This is the Lakers' what season? The Lakers have been a franchise for how many years? Oh, that's right. This is the Lakers' 77th season. As they say, this is one of the worst trades in sports history. You know what they also say is one of the worst trades in sports history? When Kobe was shipped from the Charlotte Hornets as the 13th pick of the draft, again, when Kobe's last game, how much did the Lakers win by? They won by 13. Remember, LA equals 41 in reverse, 13 forwards. 41's the 13th prime. Kobe was 41. His daughter's 13. Added up 54. Going with that Sunday death. And again, Dallas, always 13 land. Dallas also 41. Same numbers. So Kobe's last game he attended just happened to be a 13-point win. Mavericks just happened to lose with 95. Remember, the Jesuits were recognized by the Roman Catholic Church on September 27th, the day leaving 95 days left in the year, in their original mission to counter the 95 Theses. The Celtics fell to 17-5 in finals, synced with Pope Francis, whose name is also 175, before they surpassed the Lakers, becoming 18-5 like basketball's 185. If you missed the season where, by the way, Golden State's also 175. Again, Celtics fell to 17-5 in finals when they got beat by Golden State. That was the 75th anniversary season. The Warriors became 7-5 in championships. And if you go back and look, the year of that finals, 2 years ago, the Warriors beat Boston in Boston early in the season on the Pope's birthday, on Pope Francis's birthday, and Boston fell to 7-5 at home. The Warriors became 10-3 away in that game, and they ended up winning that championship in that game with 103 points on the Ultimate Warriors. I'm trying to remember if it was his death anniversary or his birthday anniversary. It was one of the two for the Ultimate Warrior. And this wasn't the first time the Ultimate Warrior came up in a ritual with the Warriors' rigged seasons. They were doing this back with LeBron as well. Last year, Boston won the finals to get their 18th championship on 617, June 17th. Boston's the 617 area code. 617 is the 113th prime. Dallas 113, like the National Basketball Association, a favorite number of the league that we've talked about a million times. But okay, coming back. Okay, hopefully we have the 266 piece down. Hopefully we got the 41 significance, the debut on the 41st day of the year in light of what happened to Kobe. Hopefully we got the 77 connected to the Lakers' 77th season. Hopefully we see that it's quite amazing that it could be 266 weeks that he gets traded, and his next win, which will come with the Lakers, will be 266. And again, here's the Jesuit logo, Isus Hominum Salvator. 32 sun rays. It's like when the Dodgers ended the 32-year drought beating the Rays. But Isus Hominum Salvator is what the IHS abbreviation's for. The abbreviation IHS is 18 forwards and backwards, just like Jazz. Kobe played his last game against the Jazz. Utah, when the old Utah team was the Stars, and Utah Stars drafted Moses Malone out of high school as the first player drafted out of high school. Remember, Daryl Dawkins and Moses Malone died just before Kobe's last season. Both high school players, high school stars in the NBA that played in Philadelphia as well, Kobe's hometown. Again, Daryl Dawkins died. His name equals 60. Moses Malone died right after him, exactly 213 days before Kobe's last game in the 213 area code. But notice how Moses Malone, 41-58. Just like Kobe Bryant is 41-58. Los Angeles Lakers also 58. All these rituals, too, have happened in the time of Pope Francis, who became a Jesuit in 1958, who has the 58 connection. Super Bowl 58 was the first ever on the Vatican's birthday, went in Mahomes' favor. Super Bowl 59, though, went in Kobe's favor rather than Mahomes, but he was a part of the ritual. Yeah, that did get me yesterday. I was leaning more on the Chiefs. Now 10-2 in Super Bowls in the years I've been here, since Super Bowl 48 up to now. And the only two that got me were Super Bowl 52 and 59. The Eagles are my kryptonite. And we weren't blindsided. I had all my people hedging on the Eagles. We've been on the Chiefs to three-peat since way before the season began, but the Eagles had the narrative through Tom Brady, and of course, that's the whole conversation this morning. Oh, he can't be the GOAT now because Brady never got his ass kicked like that in a Super Bowl. Again, just about that. Super Bowl 59, the 55th of the modern era. Chiefs fell to 4-3 on the 191st day of Brady's age, which is the 43rd prime, just like how Brady beat Mahomes in Super Bowl 55 at age 43 when GOAT's 43. Again, it's all about GOAT on ESPN this morning. Don't forget, the GOAT is also associated with Satan, and Satan equals 55. Again, Super Bowl 55, and last night, the 55th Super Bowl of the modern era. But yeah, also, Doncic, his regular season record just happens to be on 95 losses as he joins the Lakers. And again, the last game that Kobe saw, Dallas lost with 95 points. We just said how Los Angeles Lakers equals 95, fits in with that major Jesuit theme all throughout history. And by the way, remember, from when Martin Luther penned the 95 Theses to the Jesuits being created was 201 months later. It's like Martin Luther King Jr. got assassinated on the 95th day of the year. Nation's first major gun control legislation 201 days later. Look at what day that the game was that Kobe was at. 1229, 1229, the 201st prime. And the other thing about 1229 is it's the state of Texas's birthday, the Lone Star State. Again, stars, the sun, the nearest star, calling the biggest celebrities in the world stars. Kobe, one of the biggest stars of all in our lifetimes, playing in the city of stars, Hollywood, Los Angeles. Okay. All right. So just continuing to talk about the script. Luka, again, making his debut versus the Jazz, who Kobe finished his career against, in tribute to Moses Malone. And don't forget, you guys, the day before Kobe died, LeBron passed Kobe Bryant in points scored in Kobe's hometown, Philly. The Lakers only play one game a year in Philly out of an 82-game season. So just think about what a script that would have to be. LeBron drops Kobe to 4th in points scored the day before Kobe's death. And do you remember what points he scored? I do. The date was 25th of January. We talked about before the game. I think the video is still up on Gematria Effect Sports unless they took it down. But I made this point before it even happened. I said, LeBron's going to pass Kobe on 25/1 because 251 is the 54th prime. Big number with Kobe. Super Bowl Sunday's coming up, 54. Big ritual paying tribute to the number. LeBron passed Kobe with the 54th points of that game. If you go back and look, he dribbled right over the black snake on the 76ers court and went in for the easy bucket for the 54th points of the game to pass Kobe. Go back and look. You can watch the highlight to this day. I'm sure everybody knows about Kobe's 81-point game in his 666th. Mark of the Beast, 54-81. And by the way, that's also what was hard to lay off for the Chiefs last night. Had the Chiefs won, the Philadelphia would have become 666 and 666, and the Chiefs would have got their 81st win since Kobe died. In New Orleans, 54 land, you know. But anyway, Jazz and IHS, both 18, right? And how many days is it today before Luka's birthday that he makes his debut? Today's February 10th. To the 28th is 18 days. Luka just happens to be making his debut 18 days before his birthday. And realize he's 25 years old right now, at the tail end of being 25, and this move comes in 2025. He's about to turn 26 years old. And that should remind you what happened to poor Kobe on the 26th day of the year, so we're told. Bryant equals 26 forwards, 37 in reverse. Again, Kobe dead on the 37th anniversary of Bear Bryant, the football great coach who died in 83. Remember, football's 83. Helicopter crash is 83. The Pope was 83 years old at the time. What's been going on in the NFL ever since his death has pretty much paid tribute to him every year, the big football sport. And realize, Louisiana, or New Orleans, Louisiana is also 83, where the game was last night, Super Bowl 59, the Black Mamba Bowl, where his team got to 2-3 in the big game. Winning their second Super Bowl on 2-date numerology, keeping the Chiefs' winning streak in Super Bowls at 2. That was one of the major threats. But yeah, 18 days before the 26th birthday. Again, IHS goes with the Sus Salmonum Salvator, which goes with this whole little ritual here. And the Lakers just happened to come in on 18 home wins for the year. Just happened to be on 18. Their next win of the year just happens to be 32. How many sun rays are on the Jesuit Orders logo? 32. Again, the Dodgers, when they beat the Rays to end the 32-year drought. Think about it, 32 sun rays beating the Rays to end the 32-year drought. And by the way, if you guys don't know this, hold on. I showed this at the time of the World Series. The Dodgers now have 120 postseason wins since they moved to LA after winning the 120th World Series. I want to say they're 120 and 116 in the postseason since moving to LA. And they won the 116th and 120th World Series. Hold on, there's a lot to it. I'm pretty sure I have this information in this post. It's not this post, it's another post. There's a lot of information about just how rigged it all was here. And again, they got their 8th World Series in their 8th World Series win in their 24th World Series appearance in light of and a 4-1 series, just in light of the way they pay tribute to Kobe. Right here. Here's the Dodgers postseason record since they moved to LA, which was in 58. Kobe Bryant, Los Angeles Lakers, Pope Francis. They've won the 120th and 116th World Series since he died. Their postseason record is 120 and 116. And remember, they got their 57th win in the World Series. That they played in that many games. That this year when they won the World Series, they got their 57th win. The World Series began 147 days after Dave Roberts' birthday. The Yankees led MLB with a plus 147 run differential. It's just like the Chiefs were the only team with a plus 59 point differential in the regular season. And of course, that was a sign that they were going to be in the big game. Obviously, they didn't win it, but they were there and they lost. And we talk about these same numbers year after year with the World Series. So yeah, again, just all the people out there going, sports aren't scripted. It's like, how hard-headed do you have to be to watch us do this year after year? Oh, well, you're only 10-2 in the Super Bowl, and the ones you missed on, you called them from the beginning of the season for the teams to be there. It's like, do you feel like you're making a good argument right now? 10-2, huh? How's your record in the last 12 years? You do better than 10-2, and the ones we missed on, we were just barely off on. So you're telling me you're better? How have we done in the other sports too? Just absolute dominance. How many days have I been here showing things like this about how perfectly scripted all this is? Did anybody else ever come along and show who's scripting the sports and where it all connects with and why they do this? I mean, I wrote a book about it before Kobe died. How it's the Jesuits that do this, how Kobe's career was defined by 41. How many times are they going to pay tribute to Kobe in 41 after his death, supposedly? Again, unmarked grave in Corona Del Mar as Corona is kicking off. I mean, that seemed highly suspect. Something to sink the morale of the nation where so many people idolize a guy like Kobe. And the next thing you know, they got to stay home and they're locked down and they can't go to their job or their school or their place of worship, just messing with us, just messing with culture, pulling the strings on people because they know where they got them. They know this is a nation that loves their celebrities and sports stars. This is a nation that breathes sports. Okay. So let's just continue to talk about the script, all the undeniable elements of the script. All right. This one right here. We covered this the day of the trade. Let's go back and revisit these key points. Lakers get an A+. You know, in reality, even though Anthony Davis can't stay healthy and he's older than Luka, I believe he's 31 right now. If this is real, Luka has no value on a pro basketball card, and Anthony Davis still has a ton of value. He's a huge man who can rebound like no other, who can dominate inside, except for when he's playing the modern-day NBA and settling for shots just inside the three-point line, which is why the NBA is so dumb now. But again, everyone's like, what, Luka? Dude, Luka is like watching slow motion. If they were allowed to play, it's just like last year. You saw what happened to the big man for the Nuggets, who's also like the Marshmallow Man in slow motion. Last year, they were allowed to play defense against him. He couldn't rebound. He couldn't do anything. These guys aren't fast enough. They're not athletic enough. It's a script. He's the great white hope. He's the new Larry Legend. He's the new, by the way, did they not have the biggest star in Dallas history, the white guy from Germany wearing 41, Nowitzki? Again, just to remind you, big number over there, Dallas. Okay, so Luka gets traded to the Lakers on the 17th anniversary of Pau Gasol getting traded to the Lakers. And we call the NBA the 17 League, always have. 17th anniversary. Now, let's again go through this. These are Luka's stats for the year. 22 games played. Remember, basketball is 22 like Boston, who we just lost to the finals in. But look at his field goals made for the year. 216. Is that the Cleveland area code? He's now playing with LeBron, King James. Remember when LeBron won on the real King James's birthday in the Golden State Arena? The last game in Cleveland in the 2-1-6 in 2016, there were 216 points scored in that game. This year, we talked about Cleveland getting eliminated by the Yankees before it happened, 216 days from Grover Cleveland's birthday anniversary, en route to Trump becoming the new Cleveland. And yes, I do know that Cleveland, Ohio is not named after Grover Cleveland, but they've been doing this with Cleveland, paying tribute to Grover Cleveland a lot since 2016. We've been talking about this, including the foreshadowing that Trump would be a split-term president and come back this year. Again, 132 years after Grover Cleveland's split term began, when split term equals 132, like United States of America, like 132 rooms in the White House. But anyway, 216 shots made. And then the best part is his points for the year are 619. What is the real King James' birthday? 619. LeBron, when he won the finals for the Cavs, he did it on the real King James' birthday. A tribute to history, because King James' son was King Charles. And those who fought for King Charles were called Cavaliers. And what was the game in the NBA the day after Luka got traded? The day after he got traded, who were his former Mavericks playing? They were playing the Cavs and the Mavericks, you know? The Cavs and the Mavericks just happened to be the game one day after the Luka trade, right? Just happened to be scheduled just that way. Some people are like, man, only the Matrix can do this. Do you guys know that man makes the NBA schedule? Did you know that? Did you know that man has written scripts and created theater to entertain people for God knows how long? Did you know that? Did you know that man practices Cabala, where this whole thing of letters and numbers comes from? When you think about the people who run the NBA, do you think of a certain people that rhyme with ooish? And are they the ones most associated with Cabala? And is there a history with the ooish and the Jesuits? Yes, 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 more yeses. Yes, yes, yes. And you got to love the Mavericks losing with 101. I mean, come on, man. Mavericks lose with 101. You know, you pay attention to these scores day after day. It's just hilarious. It's hilarious. Remember, the Mavericks won their only game in the finals last year, 78th NBA Finals that started on the Celtics' 78th birthday, when the Celtics are the only team that equals 78. Boston Celtics, we told you before the season began, it was Lock City for them. You know what else I find funny? It's just so weird about people. Nobody cares when we're right. There's a lot of growth on this channel overnight being wrong. People would rather watch somebody be wrong than right. It's amazing. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? You don't get anything out of life by hating. If you're around here using the knowledge, you're benefiting. You're not going to win every single day, but we win a lot more days than we don't. And we are known to multiply big when we really hit it. But anyway, when the Mavericks won their only game on Trump's birthday, they won by 38. And don't forget how the Mavericks were taken over by the casino owner, Miss Adelson, 150 weeks after her husband died. And 51 days after her birthday, when the Mavericks were founded on May 1st in history, 5-1, the Illuminati's birthday. Of course, the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. But okay, just for the record, 619 is the 114th prime. LeBron James equals 114. I think it has something to do with the Bible. Revelation 1:14, the only physical description of the Bible The only physical description of Jesus in the Bible begins with Revelation 1:14, and you read those verses there. It's describes somebody with darker skin and hair like wool. No, it doesn't say hair like wool. It says it's white like wool. Okay, it does. It says it's white like wool, and then it also describes darker skin. So, okay, close your eyes. White like wool, darker skin. I mean, I can only picture one, somebody of at least some African descent. No, it doesn't mean the hair's like wool, though. He just had dark skin and white hair, like a winter bird down in Arizona. No, it didn't say his scare was burnt red like a lobster. No, it didn't say that. Anyway, again, Luka traded 27 days before his 26th birthday. Ritual 27. Again, Bryant in game 26. It was 339 days after his birthday. That's a big number for the country. International superstar. The trade was 124 days before the NBA Finals begin. It's interesting. The finals do begin on June 5th, and this is the Lakers' 65th season in LA because they started in Minnesota. 77th total season. Remember, LeBron Raymond James does equal 79. This is the 79th season, and it did start with him staying on 79 losses at home as a Laker, and Fernando Valenzuela, whose name equals 79, was announced dead right at the end of the game as the Lakers pretty much had it put away. And just to remind you, LeBron got his 205th win with the Lakers in that game. I'm realizing LeBron Raymond James also 101 gets the Maverick guy. He's had plenty of appearances in the finals. Again, we're going to keep an eye on this narrative in the 79th season. I was thinking the Griffies being in attendance at that game, coming from Seattle, where the Thunder started, who the Seattle Sonics won the championship in 79 over the other Washington team. It was the team from Seattle, Washington over the Washington, then Bullets. But yeah, 124 days before the finals. It's the 93rd composite number. The trade happened on a Saturn's day on 2-1. Saturn equals 93 and 21. Lakers has the 21 and 42 like Saturn. Luka Doncic also has the 93. When LeBron did win the finals on the real King James's birthday, the Lakers, or it was the Cavs. The Cavs won with 93 points over the Warriors. The Warriors scored 89 in tribute to King James. King James 89. Now King James moved to Los Angeles by the numbers. That's 89 city. Davis was traded to the Mavericks 38 days before his March 11th birthday. Again, Mavericks 38, Dallas 113. You can write his birthday 113. The day the scandemic was declared the NBA lockdown, Dallas was the only team who finished their game, scored 113 points. Go check the box score, March 11, 2020. Dallas 113. The National Basketball Association 113. They declared a coronavirus pandemic 113. It was first simulated with something called Cladex. 666 days later, 113. Here, Mavericks box score, March 11th, 2020. 113. It happens a lot. The Nuggets stayed on 43 wins too, which is funny because Colorado's 43. And, well, here, let me spell it right. Colorado's 38 and 43, like pandemic. And remember, the first case was supposedly arrived on 15/1, and it was shortly after the Event 201 simulation where 65 million die, and it was simulated 65 days from Melinda Gates' birthday when the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation were the co-sponsors, along with the World Economic Forum and the Johns Hopkins and the CDCs from the U.S. and China, and some big jab companies and some big banks. So in light of this happening on the first day of Black History Month, Anthony Davis was shipped on 42 games with the Lakers. I mean, come on. Lakers 42, February 42, Slavery 42, Tuskegee 42. The list goes on. So many 42s on Black History. And it's the whole Black History Month has been a tribute to slavery from the beginning. The feds recognized it on February 10th, 10/2. Today's the anniversary of the feds recognizing Black History Month in 76. Slavery 102, slave 76. Again, as a reminder, slaves also 14 and 31 like Obama. Obama announced he was running for president 31 years to the day, February 10th, 2007. Again, just how the knowledge is just seamless, from rigged sports to rigged politics to rigged news. I don't know how people can watch and be like, I think that's a coincidence. That's got to be a coincidence. That's probably a coincidence. Everything is a coincidence. I mean, you have to be doing that when you watch these videos to deny it. And if you're doing that, I mean, can you spell the word RETARD? Do you know that word? Because that's you. That's you. Oh, yeah. And I forgot the trade came 102 days after the season began. You know, Anthony Davis became a Laker on July 6th. I mean, come on, man. AD in the year Kobe dies, who put out the Kobe After Death shoe. So again, 77th season, they get Luka. And here's the thing, too, about the Lakers now trailing the Celtics in finals 17-18. Remember, Jerry West died the day after the Celtics won their 78th game in the 78th season. He was 1-8 in championships. He didn't get to live to see the Celtics surpass the Lakers and take the lead 18-17. So I just want to remind you guys that LeBron became a part owner of the Boston Red Sox in his 18th season. Baseball's 18. And from LeBron's birthday to the day he became a part owner, March 16th, that was 77 days after his birthday. Boston 77, Red Sox 77. Lakers now got to tie the Celtics at 18. They got Luka making his debut 18 days before his birthday, before the 18 team. So we're going to continue to explore this and watch what they do. I'll be paying extra careful attention to what the score is tonight. Again, at the beginning of the season, we knew the Lakers had a shot because of LeBron's 79 connection, but I have been looking more at that Thunder team. And I did predict that Boston would start the year 19-5 this year, and they did. Boston did start the year 19-5. We predicted this before a single game was played. Boston Celtics equals 195 like Robert Kennedy. And why does that matter? Robert Kennedy died the same day in history that's the Boston Celtics birthday. He actually died on their 22nd birthday as a franchise, Boston 22. And you can see how Celtics is 46, like RFK is 46, like Catholics 46, like how his brother was killed at 46. And that's what last year's finals was about. JFK killed at 46 in Dallas. Catholics also 35, like he was number 35, killed on I-35, but JFK was also the Boston mayor. Again, the Stanley Cup or the NHL playoffs and the NBA playoffs for the first time ever started on the same day last year, on the 111th day of the year. Kennedy 111 and 78. The Kennedys brought liquor in the time of Prohibition from Canada, and JFK died at Parkland Hospital. What happened in the Stanley Cup? The Canadian team lost to the team that plays right next to Parkland, Florida, where the shooting happened on 214, like Dallas is the 214 area code. The Chiefs that started in Dallas had the shooting last year on 214. And remember, we did have the Knicks to win with 111 points in their opening game of the playoffs on the 111th day of the year. Again, the power of the knowledge. You can hit an exact score. That's a major multiplier. And again, you can hit exact scores with small wagers and get tremendous payouts. If you took $1 each day and tried to nail an exact score in sports, you would do it enough to stay well ahead of the curve, and you would continually build your house money. The games are repetitive when you're watching. But again, coming back to this, again, just isn't it interesting how it all lines up as time goes on? This is a post from 2021. Just keeping tabs on all these things. LeBron becomes a part owner of the Boston Red Sox 77 days after his birthday. Now he gets Luka number. I mean, who wears 77, you guys? Who wears the number 77? Seriously. Luka ends up losing to Boston. Now he goes to the Lakers, who have the rivalry with Boston. Pau Gasol trade. Here, there is a narrative for history to repeat itself. Pau Gasol trade to Lakers. February 1st, 2008. What happened in the two? Here, let's look at this. NBA Finals history. Let's look at this. Let's go to 2007. Okay. 2007, the year before the trade, the Spurs beat the Cavs. If you've never seen the photo of LeBron when he just before he came out of high school, he's wearing a George Gervin Iceman jersey for the Spurs. But anyhow, The year that Powell got traded, the Lakers, or hold on. This is the 2008-2009 season. Okay, I'm getting dyslexic. Okay, Powell goes to the Lakers. That year, the finals is Lakers and Boston, and Boston did win 4-2. Again, Lakers 42, right? But then after that, then the Lakers got some vengeance. The Lakers got some vengeance. They won back-to-back. Lakers over Magic. Hello, Magic Johnson. Lakers over Boston. Then the Mavericks won the next finals. Isn't it interesting how all of this stuff looks so closely and tightly related? And again, you did have that Mavericks over Heat finals as well shortly before that. Anyway, the clues are here. You just got to do the research. It's always been scripted. All of this stuff is a perfect script. I've explained for years that they have these guys sit out games with fake injuries to line up perfect rituals. I've been a broken record about this. And the same time people come around like, dude, do you know how much they pay these players? Why would they have them sit out with fake injuries? It's like, okay. One, I'm going to put this back on you. Do you know these guys even get paid what they supposedly get paid? Do you know that for a fact? Just because it's in the news and the headlines, do you know that for a fact? And again, if you've ever watched some of these 30 for 30s, they'll show how these guys got broke so fast, and they'll do like breakdowns of what happened to their money. They had agents, they had lawyers, they had all these people around them that just siphoned their wealth. So essentially, all the money just went right back into the system and the controlling establishment. Again, the whole money thing is an illusion. And I'll remind you guys, watch the Floyd Money Mayweather cribs on MTV from years ago. It's one of the most revealing things ever. He shows off his garage in his supposed house. And this is like one of the highest grossing athletes ever. And he has this car full of garages. And he says right to the camera, he says, but I'm not allowed to drive any of them. I thought this is your house. I thought these are your cars. You're not allowed to drive any of them? Oh, so who's running the show around here? Are you renting this place? Is this a museum for somebody else? It's like, I have a young couple that lives across the street. The dad bought them the house. Shotgun. Well, actually, they're not even married. A pregnancy happened. This guy got the right girl pregnant. She again, her family has money, so they bought him a nice house, but they don't get to park their own cars. They don't have the nicest cars. Their dad has nice cars, and he uses their garage as a storage for his cars. You know what I mean? It's like on the surface, like, oh, the man, nice young couple. They got a nice house, and they do, but they don't own that house. Daddy owns that house, and Daddy parks his cars in the garage. He's got some nice collectors in there. So again, I don't think it's much different with these people playing in these leagues where they get this elevated status and all the celebrities. And don't forget about all the jokes in that LeBron house party movie with the Illuminati and all that. I mean, don't forget about it. The Illuminati is the Jesuit network. The Illuminati was founded by a Jesuit in the time of their suppression. From the day the Lakers won the finals on Father-Daughter Day to the day this move was 157 days. Remember, Kobe died on the 157th day of his age, which is the 37th prime, which goes with him dying on the 37th anniversary of Bear Bryant. Kobe, it was the 75th day of the year they made the move. And this was a story right after Kobe passed, remembering Kobe Bryant, the Jesuit school, Boston College. The Jesuit school, Boston College, remembering Kobe Bryant. In January 2014, the NBA superstar attended a marketing class and finance seminar at the Carroll School of Management. And they gave him an honorary degree. Don't forget what happened to Johnny Gaudreau, Jesuit educated at Boston College, his ritual sacrifice. And we had Boston College to upset Florida State right after that at the start of the college football season. Same numbers that were in his death. And his numbers in his death ended up right in the championship game when Ohio State won. Again, he was playing for the Columbus Blue Jackets, playing in the same city where Ohio State is. Mookie Betts came over in the 4-2 ritual, paying tribute to Jackie. It was 161 days. On the 161st day of Mookie's age, LeBron becomes part owner of Boston. Mookie went from Boston to LA. Remember when Boston beat LA in the World Series, perfectly synced with Boston beating LA in Super Bowl 53? Again, just remind you these things. Patriots, 53. Los Angeles, 53. Boston Red Sox, 53. We said in July that would happen. The World Series would be Boston over LA and the Super Bowl. We said, and watch, Boston can beat LA in Game 5, 4-1, and Brady can win the Super Bowl at age 41. We measured how from Game 5 of the World Series to the Super Bowl, that was the 99th season, was a span of 99 days. New England 99. And don't forget, New England came into that season with 523 franchise wins, the 99th prime number. And who was the big star of Los Angeles back then? It was the defensive player Aaron Donald with a 523 birthday who wore 99, who was number 99. And don't forget, 53 is the 16th prime. There were only 16 points in that Super Bowl. 13-3 was the final. 13-3. Beat LA with 13. 13-3 is a bit like 133, big football number. NBA Finals that year started 114 days later. Again, just King James born 619, 619, the 114th prime. But yeah. Where is your argument that sports isn't scripted, and where is your argument that Gematria doesn't reveal it better than anything else out there? Here. I got to start my Patreon live stream in a little more than 20 minutes, but for anybody out there, let me drop the link. Anybody out there that wants to argue that sports aren't scripted, that this is all just organic, you want to come on here and tell me it's the Matrix? You want to come on here and tell me that God is doing all of this? Satan's doing all of this. The synagogue of Satan might be doing all of this. Again, I don't know where the evidence of it being anyone other than man doing this. Again, man does theater, man does Cabala, man writes scripts, man for man trades, man for man rituals, man murders other man. History on top of history of ritual sacrifices from all kinds of different religions, cultural systems. I still remember being a kid in school, learning about how the Mayans might have ruined their society from too much ritual sacrifice. As a little kid, I got to go down to Chinchonita, those ancient pyramids, and learn about how they played a sports game similar to basketball, and the winners of the game would get sacrificed for the king. All right, we got King Rich in the building. What's up, King Rich?
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, you know what? Pro sports is, completely scripted, man. Anybody saying otherwise has room temperature IQ. So, yeah, I just see a lot of people saying that Gematria is a scam. It's like, okay, just because we got one Super Bowl wrong, that doesn't mean that.
Again, here, I'm going to put my record up against yours. 10-2, and in the Super Bowls we got wrong, Super Bowl 52, we had the correct matchup in week 3. We dominated the entire playoffs and went perfect that year. And I also had the hedge bet that if the Eagles won, it would be Zach Ertz scoring the winning touchdown at over 20-1 odds. What is scammy about that? And this year, we were on the Chiefs to three-peat all year. I told my whole community, you got to hedge with the Eagles because there's 3 big numbers on the board that could play in their favor. And the scariest one of all was 22. Mahomes and the Chiefs got their 22nd postseason loss. How many points on the scoreboard? 22. And again, you're coming here calling a scam. Again, the only one who's a scam is you for denying the knowledge. You're scamming yourself.
Exactly. And just to point out, I mean, come on, really, it's a rematch of Super Bowl 57, and rematch in Gematria equals 40 on the 40th day of the year with 40 points.
And Mahomes now in the 2 Super Bowls he's lost, what's funny is he's gotten beaten by 40 total points.
There you go. There you go, on the 40th day of the year. So, I don't know where all these people come from. Again, I know it's a network, the same network that's been harassing us. I mean, it's the same network, every day trying to discredit the work. But the work just proves itself every day, man.
Indeed. By the way, I see a comment in the chat, something that I don't remember if I said or I forgot to say. Yeah, the Jazz. The Jazz started in New Orleans. Here we are one day after the Super Bowl in New Orleans, very much connected to Kobe. And this just all happens to be happening.
Right. And don't forget, New Orleans, what's funny is, like, even just having Kendrick Lamar there at the halftime show, I mean, that was just a ritual. They have to have a guy with the song that came out on May 4th. They written 5-4 or 4
And not like
5.
us equals 54, like
Yeah.
New Orleans.
Yep. 45 and 54 and
Correct.
126
And 126.
Yep. Just to remind that the Eagles and Chiefs both made it in the Super Bowl on the anniversary of Kobe Bryant dying on January 26th, and Gianna Bryant also equals 126 for that matter. So,
indeed.
Yeah, only retards are denying this, man. So.
Well, and that's what's annoying is just like living in a society where the average person is just so inept, and they continue to like demonize what is true and right. And then it's like, listen, the only person who should be embarrassed is the person who still can't see that pro sports are rigged. You should be incredibly embarrassed about your low intellect. Incredibly embarrassed.
It's so obvious that these games are rigged. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't even really watch the game. I was just really watching the commercials. And did you see the commercials they were putting out there? I mean, every year it's like this where they put out like just this, like mocking people who question the media. It's just a joke. They put it right in your face, you know?
Yeah. No, the only people who got scammed yesterday are the people who went to the Super Bowl and watched the game thinking it's a real competition. Exactly. And a lot of you guys aren't calling that out at all, and it shows you just how dumb you are. Exactly. It literally shows how dumb you are.
It's like, why is everybody paying millions of dollars for overpriced seats, overpriced food, overpriced drinks?
Overpriced officials who right. I mean, look at the two calls at the beginning of the game, how bad they were. Yeah, one went for the Chiefs, and then the next one went against the Chiefs. They're just both god-awful calls.
Right.
It's like you're paying all this money. How's this guy? This is supposed to be the top of. And again, what's Ron Torbert equals? 62 in Gematria. What's jersey number 62? How many points in the game? 62 points. This goes on year after year.
Yep. And just like last year with the 47 points combined on the Vatican's birthday, which equals 47, like 211 to 47 prime. So.
And again, literally after the 211 Super Bowl, Mahomes and Reed, the Super Bowls they'd played in, had 211 combined points. I mean, script.
Right. I wouldn't even be surprised if there's some kind of terror attack, mass casualty, false flag right after this, and the story will be like, oh, a Chiefs fan went in and did something. Like, I wouldn't be surprised they even pull that type of shit, man.
Well, just the planes in Philly. I mean, again, the planes in Philly.
Plane crash, 173, 40th prime. Yep.
Well, plane crash 43 and 173 again. Right. The Chiefs did fall to 4-3 in the Super Bowls, and they did fall to 17-3 for the year. And yeah, like you said, 173, 40th prime, 40th day of the year. Again, Philly just got terrorized. Here, to remind people, the plane crashed on Roosevelt. And you know what? That Roosevelt Street's not named after FDR. It's named after Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt. And you know what? You know what's funny about that you mentioned that? That plane crash was on his 97th day of his age, going with plane crash equaling 97.
Are you saying Teddy Roosevelt?
Teddy Roosevelt, yep.
Well, here's the other piece that we've been talking about with Teddy Roosevelt and McKinley. McKinley got assassinated. He was the 25th president. Trump comes in and makes Mount Denali McKinley, and then we just got a plane crash by that in Alaska as well. Right. But again, McKinley got assassinated, and then Teddy Roosevelt became the president. And remember, when when they nominated J.D. Vance in Milwaukee, he became the youngest VP nominee since Teddy Roosevelt, who was shot in Milwaukee. All of these things. And by the way, about that piece, what did they do in the NBA? If business was as usual, they made this one a little bit tricky yesterday. We had the Bucks to beat the 76ers to drop the coach of the 76ers, Nick Nurse, to 67-67 because Kansas City equals 67 in Super Bowl LIX. And I was more on Kansas City winning. Right. That did happen. And normally these signs are right, but notice what the Bucks won with, the big Philly number, 135.
135. Hey, you know what? Just to add on to that 135, I don't know if you've seen it, but Lil Wayne announced that he wasn't going to be at the Super Bowl, and that was 135 days after his birthday.
Yeah, again, and I wonder if that was a sign that the three-peat wasn't going to happen then, because, again, the three-peat song came out 267 days after Mahomes' birthday, which is the Philly area code.
Yep.
Yeah, but
and then he also has that song Kobe, in tribute to Kobe.
Well, hold on though. Look at the game though. Lillard had 43, right? It ended up being 43 because the Chiefs fell to 4-3 on Brady's 191st day of his age, and the green team won.
Right.
So yeah, they made it a little bit more challenging. And how many points did the Bucks score in the first quarter? 40. on the 40th day. You pay attention to sports, you see this stuff day in and day out. The Bucks had 65 points at the half. We call Philadelphia the 65 city. It's why we love Jalen Hurts to get his 65th rushing touchdown yesterday versus the Chiefs in their 65th season. But I thought the narrative made more sense that the Chiefs would be the first team to three-peat, because the last time the three-peat started, it started in the 65 season with the Packers. Anyway, again, you can see how all of the elements of the script were there, unless, like you said, you got a Luke or a room temperature IQ.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's the only people denying it. I mean, room temperature IQ, retards. Retards can't fathom this. So that's why I don't care when a retard comes up to me and says, "Oh, this is stupid." I'm like, "No, you're stupid."
Indeed. These people are stupid. All right, King Rich, I'm gonna let a few more people get in here, and then I gotta hop off. But thank you always for the contributions.
All right, appreciate it, man. Take care.
All right. Let me go out to the man in Philly. He had a hunch the whole time that his Eagles were going to get it done. He was right. What's up to Philly's Ace?
Hey, Zach. I wasn't right. You do this better than I do. You had the narratives for the Chiefs and about Kobe Bryant. But you know what I pointed out? When the Eagles beat the Commanders with 55, and when Brandon Graham's coming back for the Super Bowl in 55, and when he threw to Brady, he had a strip sack, and he went back to the flag. Trump was president then, he was president now, and what made me think more about the Eagles was he took out all the flags except the American flag, and the flag is here in Philadelphia, was sewn in Philadelphia. Yeah. That's what gave me, and then the coup de grace, Zach, is when you show me that picture that from Philly, around Kobe, where he's hanging off the helicopter, and our airplane left from the Northeast Airport and then crashed here. I said, and usually when tragedies happen in the city, that's the team that usually wins. And because it was supposed to go to Missouri, it didn't make it there.
That's true.
So that's why I had a hunch that we possibly, and this was I think the Chiefs' 65th season, if I'm correct.
That's correct.
And the Eagles are on the 22nd, and I told everybody, I just had a weird feeling that they were going to pull the rug out of everybody because the Eagles were underdogs the whole time. And also in the Super Bowl 57, the Eagles were favored in that Super Bowl, if I remember correctly, and it happened that Mahomes would win.
That was something I mentioned. I like when Mahomes is the dog in Super Bowls. That's when he wins. I did not like that he was the favorite. That was another apprehension I had. I said, "Oh man, he wins when he's the dog," and he was the dog in Super Bowl 57.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I had the hunch about the whole thing. And I said, when we talked about it, even you brought it up, like when tragedies happen in certain cities, that's how they do everything to the fans. They throw it in your face and they sacrifice people. And only one other thing I would say is that sometimes I believe now that you were right now because about Brady. It was more about. Do you think it was more about Brady than Kobe? Because Brady hosts a lot of Eagle games this year.
Absolutely both. Black Mamba 59-23. They become 2-3 in Super Bowl 59, and absolutely about Brady too. I mean that's the way ESPN's covering this morning. That I don't know if you can call him the GOAT the way he got his ass kicked, especially with Brady out there calling the game. It's just like,
yeah, that's all I said. But you were right. That's the problem with me when I do decodes. Sometimes I may overthink it or underthink it, but. You were right on. You told people to hedge their bets. You pointed out the 5 things that can go against it. So you weren't technically wrong. So it's just how
in the driver's seat. I'm now 10-2 in Super Bowls. I'm not ashamed of my record. And again, the ones we missed on, it was the Eagles both times, but we were very close. And we did see the narrative both times why it could be the Eagles. The Eagles are officially my kryptonite. So.
Right. Well, but you do a great job, Zach. So there's nothing to be ashamed of. And these people that don't pay attention to it, I saw it come. I just had that, and that Revelation 2:9. That's another thing that changed me. And then when Trump came here, he did the debate here in Philly. So that just made me think that since he was going to be, I knew from then on he was going to be a president again for me.
Listen, I'm going to tell everybody, watch what the Steelers do in the offseason. I could even see an Eagles-Steelers Super Bowl possibly, because I'm just going to remind you guys this. I have to see the Steelers get some kind of quarterback because they're not doing it with Russell Wilson as far as I'm concerned. But again, Super Bowl LX, these are the numbers for next year. 50, 130, 58, Pittsburgh. is 50, 130, 58. Next year is Super Bowl 60. Again, they just made the Super Bowl yesterday about Biden. Biden won the 59th election. His team, the Eagles, won Super Bowl 59, 81 days after his birthday when President Biden's 81. I covered this last night, that with 8:01 on the clock, that they're up 34 points. What was it? I got to go look back and look at everything to it. But total Biden tribute, they were up 34-0. Biden's 34. Anyway, the 60th election was won by Trump. And what was the biggest event? Trump said without the shooting, he's not sure he would have won. Where was the shooting close to? Pittsburgh. It was just outside of Pittsburgh. So I'm watching what the Steelers do this offseason. If they get some kind of quarterback there, they got the again, it's just like you guys, Super Bowl LIX had, look, I mean, Kansas City in two of the ciphers, right? 148, 167, just like Kansas City. These numbers are usually indicative of at least one of the teams that's going to be there. The Pittsburgh thing is really interesting to me in light of, again, the 60th election and Trump's little shooting thing. By the way, the from the shooting to the game yesterday was 211 days after the thing, the 47th prime. Big number on the Super Bowl. Trump, President, White House, government, Caesar, all 47 in Caesar's Superdome. And, you know, a story that came out that I didn't think of before the game was how Trump and Taylor Swift got into it during the election because she endorsed Kamala. And Cabala had a whole lot going on in Philly, too. She picked the Minnesota governor in Philly, right into how Philly won the Super Bowl in Minnesota. Again, there's always a political element. But Super Bowl 60s in the Bay Area, Kamala from the Bay lost to Trump, who had his big ritual in Pennsylvania, but close to Pittsburgh. So I'm watching.
You know, one other thing, Zach, you know where that plane was going in Missouri? When I put that city's name into the calculator, two of the ciphers matched Philadelphia as well. When I put that, when the plane was supposed to arrive in Missouri, them two things matched Philadelphia too. When I put it out, I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
It's crazy how they do it. Again, or Roosevelt, where it crashed, in Super Bowl, the exact same in every cipher. And the Chiefs did make, or not the Chiefs, but the Eagles made home teams 11-2 in the playoffs by getting that win. So,
All right, Zach. Thank you, man.
All right. Hey, good call, John. Well done.
All right.
Take care. All right, let's go out to Pablo. What's up, Pablo?
What's up, Zach? How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. I called in the other day about the Spurs versus the Hornets and how it was like a tribute to Jordan, it being 10 days before Jordan's 62nd birthday, Jordan's 62. So I wanted to touch on that and how also a caller yesterday called in your live stream about the
You said it was 8 days before Jordan's birthday, right?
10.
The Super Bowl?
It was no. The Spurs versus Hornets game.
Oh, okay. So sorry. Okay, the Super Bowl. Got it. Go ahead.
So and then you also had a caller call in yesterday after the game, after the Super Bowl, talk about the Isaiah 40:31 verse about, and it speaks about Eagles in triumph. So Isaiah and Trump both equal 47 and 29 in different ciphers. And you know the Super Bowl is on 2-9. If you type in Philly Eagles, that equals 59, and 131, like Super Bowl equals 131. But the Spurs versus Hornets game being the tribute to the 62nd birthday of Jordan. 62 is the inverse of 26, like the Eagles posted about Kobe's death day with the helicopter on 26.
Right.
The Spurs were on 26 losses that day versus the Hornets, and they ended up getting their 27th loss. And they were ranked 27th in what do you call it? Team points rank.
Okay.
And the player to watch for that day, De'Aaron Fox, was also 27.
Okay.
And ritual equals 27. So to me, that just kind of revealed that it's a tribute to legends in the NBA going on with Jordan and Kobe. And the Isaiah Eagles thing, Isaiah 40 is 40, like the Eagles' winning score, and then the other number 31 is the 11th prime. And if you remember the post of the Philly Eagles, originally it was at 11:59 before they took it down, and reposted it at 2:59 that day. And the date numerology of the Super Bowl yesterday was 2 and 11, and it was Super Bowl 59. So it just seems like, to me, the Jordan tribute and the Kobe tribute was just revealing how the Eagles were going to win.
The way I was looking at it is Jordan three-peated over Barkley. So that was my
Right,
perspective on the whole Jordan thing.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, in hindsight, it's 2020. So yeah, good.
Yeah,
intuition.
exactly. It's because I seen the Patreon comments today with all the trolls.
Well, that goes on every day.
Yeah, it goes on
we can
every
go
day,
10 and 2. The trolls are going to be active in the comments. So.
But they're extra active right now because of yesterday, and they're just trying to prey on everybody that maybe new, that has a weaker will, so they can kind of get them to go to their Patreon. I kind of noticed that, but we need to, when shit like this happens, we gotta persist. We gotta have a strong will, and we gotta come together and look at things, like you said, in hindsight, to see what we missed and share the knowledge with each other. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to predict it, which is not as easy as seeing what already happened.
Well, and again, we don't hold the cards. We see the script. And honestly, as far as I'm concerned, I know the Chiefs didn't win. I still feel like the Chiefs had a lot better script to win the game. I mean, it literally looked like Mahomes was born to three-peat. Everything they did this year was crazy. The connections to Montana, his own father, Doug Williams. Again, they do use the phrase they flipped the script. It's possible that they did flip the script. The NFL's getting pressed, that everyone's starting to catch on to the rigging. It's possible that they rewrote the script. I still look at both sides of it. I say the Chiefs had a lot more going on. So, and it's the same year. The year that Brady lost to the Eagles, he was doing 62 rituals almost every week and did not become 6 and 2 in Super Bowls in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And notice 62 ended up being the number in the game he's calling, where the Eagles keep a baby goat as still baby goat. And that's the whole, if you watched ESPN this morning, that's the whole conversation. Oh, I don't even, man, did Mahomes even fall completely out of the running? Because, man, that was one of the worst Super Bowl performances ever.
Yeah.
So, and again, for all the fans out there, it's like, listen, if this team's so dominant and such a legacy team and this greatest coach and this greatest quarterback, how is it even possible that you can show up and be that bad? How is it even possible? Only in rigged sports, where the thing is any given Sunday in the NFL, sometimes the worst team in the league is beating the best team. There's no place in a real sports game. If anyone's ever played sports, you might have been the kid that played on the worst team in the city, and you had to play the best team. You had no chance. You were going at the end of the game, the score is going to be like 104 to 4 points. That's what happens when the best plays the worst. In pro sports, though, you just never know for sure. Just anything could happen on any night. Lakers last year were 15.5-point underdogs against the Celtics with Anthony Davis and LeBron out. We didn't lose our confidence. We said, no, look at how all the numbers line up for the Lakers to win tonight. Boom. They win without LeBron and AD. Almost everybody in Vegas gets their lunch stolen because they're like, how's this even possible? Mm-hmm. Again, you guys, the games are fixed. So.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah, yeah, that's for sure.
All right. Well, hey, I appreciate the call and the observations. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care. For the person who said, what's the 42 connection in New Orleans? I was talking about this when I was down in New Orleans in 2020. NOLA, what they call it down there. You go down there, NOLA's written everywhere. New Orleans, Louisiana, 42. Again, right down in Jackson Square, where the main attraction is. There's a huge church just a block down or a couple blocks down maybe from Jackson Square. And a big plaque right on the wall that says blacks were first allowed in this church in 1842. Again, we're talking about a slave port city. Again, part of the Louisiana Purchase from the French, where the Jesuits are from. But yeah, Evan had a great observation. Dirk Nowitzki also has that King James birthday, June 19th. Dirk, who beat LeBron in the finals. And yeah, you're right. At age 32. And now Luka traded on February 1st, the 32nd day of the year. Yeah. Very good observation. Absolutely. So, all right, we got Endgame, and then I got to wrap this thing up. What's up, Endgame?
Hey, I just wanted to continue on with the debate that they were giving us. So Lil Wayne had announced that he was dropping the Carter Six on 6/6 just a few days before the Super Bowl. So I was just thinking, it's like, damn, they really might go with this whole 666 narrative. But then again, I saw a whole bunch of like NFL fanboy accounts that are pretty mainstream, 100,000 followers, actually posting about this whole 666 narrative. And then once I heard that you talked about how it was the 55th Super Bowl, the modern era, and how they're paying tribute to, Super Bowl 55, I was like, yeah, they might actually just go with that whole narrative with the whole Brady.
Yeah. Again, yeah, the 666 thing did get out there. They were even talking about it on public TV. And again, it does make you wonder. I mean, did they flip the script? I didn't hear enough of the commentary last night to hear if they used that phrase. I do know they said that at the end of Super Bowl 52 when the Eagles beat Brady. They said they flipped the script. So.
Yeah, man, but we'll see. As always next year. But, that Celtics and Lakers is looking pretty nice. I could definitely see that happening.
It's in the cards.
Yes.
I'm not sold on it yet, but there's some major parallels here. It would be history repeating itself. And I'll be very curious to see what the score is tonight in Luca's debut. If I see some championship numbers up there, I'm going to know what time it is. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you once again. Have a great day, guys.
All right. Take care, man.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, we do got to start the Patreon stream here. And, again, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. See, like, here's something to think about, you guys. For me to consistently keep up the memberships and the knowledge and people invested, you have to win at a high rate and you have to be very consistent. And that's what I've done. People hate losing. I lost so many people yesterday, and I'm not surprised. It's the way it works. But had I been right, there would have been a small marginal gain in support. Tiny, like insignificant. You lose, though, and just people drop off. And again, it's one game, too. So the people who dropped off, they're the swine that shouldn't be around. The only people who exited yesterday are the swine who don't deserve the knowledge anyway. And like I said, we posted a winning day yesterday. Yeah, we got the Super Bowl wrong, something that doesn't happen very often. But the knowledge that went out yesterday for sports was another winning day. And there's been pretty much nothing but winning days for going on the last 3-4 weeks. We've been on a tear. So, I mean, you lose one game and you're out. That just means you're a stupid person. Point blank, period. And I'm not here to cater and serve stupid people. And I know people are dumb. I know I live in a society where the majority of people are inept. If they weren't, these leagues would be out of business. Listen, if people weren't dumb and inept, these sports leagues wouldn't be going because they've been rigged for all of our lifetimes, and it's plainly obvious unless you're just straight up stupid. These fast food joints that poison America and have everybody walking around with, guts sticking out 2 feet in front of their chest, they wouldn't be in existence. Coca-Cola, one of the biggest companies in the world. Do you know why it is? It's because people are stupid. Who puts sugar water in their body? Only dumb people. And I know I'm probably offending a lot of people because, God forbid, almost everybody drinks this shit stuff. These are not intelligent things to do. You don't put poison in your body because it tastes good on your tongue. I'm sorry. People are dumb. That's why all these evil things rule. Addictive sugar drinks. These companies shouldn't even exist. All of this shit exists because people are dumb. These are the scams. You're getting scammed. You're buying poisonous beverages because you're addicted to it, and you're putting yourself in an early grave. You support real scams. Everyone calling me a scammer, you guys are full of shit. There's no scam over here. There's no scam over here. I had my people in winning position for the Super Bowl, and I told every last one of them probably 100 times in the last 2 weeks, you need to hedge your bet. Yeah, I was a lot more confident about the Chiefs winning. I'm usually not wrong about the Super Bowl. I still think the Chiefs had a lot better narrative based on everything, but I do understand why they lost. And I understood that before it happened, which is why I told everyone they had to hedge their bet. And even publicly, I would mention that. I'd say, everything looks like it's Chiefs here, but there's still a few things to think about for the Eagles. So it was like the same scenario as Super Bowl 52. It's like exactly how I felt about that one as well. And again, I'm not ashamed of either one that we got them wrong. We were super close. We had the right Super Bowl matchups early in the year in Super Bowl 52. And, you know, plenty of my people in the community did like the Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl scenario from early on. A lot of my callers, though, the things they were saying, I was just like, these aren't very good arguments for the Eagles. There were some real good examples for the Eagles why they were there and did win it that I overlooked. And I don't like to make excuses, but this is the least sleep I've ever gotten in the last year. Sweet lady being pregnant, waking up a million times a night, and then having the little one for going on 3 months that just will not go to bed. Oh my God, she sleeps all day, but will not sleep at night. I don't know. She loves to be physical contact, man. She doesn't get the physical contact at night. She does not want to sleep. So we got to figure this one out. That's the biggest obstacle in my life. How do we get this little one to sleep at night, man? Because we're up all night keeping her from. Anyway. Thank you again to everyone who does support the work, who shares the work. Thank you to the people who have enough IQs to see that what we put out day after day is way beyond coincidence. And it's not just some conspiracy nonsense. These are just the conclusions that programmed retards come to, point blank, period. And for the goofball out there who's making fun of being wrong, dude, your Super Bowl pick didn't make it out of the divisional round, and you also guaranteed the Chiefs were going to lose to the Bills. So you're really on social media talking shit? And not to mention, you've never hit a Super Bowl future in your life. The person I'm talking about, it's the same person who is gloating about getting my Twitter account taken down, or X. And then the next day, that goofball put out a video about how much he values free speech. I was like, that's interesting. You're gloating about getting my X account taken down, and then the next day you're putting out a video about how you value free speech. And by the way, that guy is a ooh. You know what I mean by an ooh? So, yeah, a guy who has no track record of doing anything other than scamming and lying to people. Anyone who calls me a scammer, you just know right there, they're the fraud. There's no fraud over here. Nothing but facts. Oh, shout out to Open Up as well. He says, there was way more value in the Super Bowl yesterday. Miles Bridges for 5 threes to get his 666 for a career. Exactly. And again, you know, capitalized on the NBA. Perfect reads on the NBA based on the Super Bowl. Hockey easily could have went 2-0. Saw how the Capitals-Utah game should go to overtime. Had the right call on the Tampa game. So, again, another winning day. But we just didn't get the biggest game of the day like we normally do. Anyway, here we are the next day, right back on it, showing you how it's all connected and scripted. So if you can't see it, again, got to work on the IQ up here. Got to eat better, less sugar, water, more sleep. Even me with lack of sleep, you know, still performing at a lot higher level than the average American. And part of that's because of diet and using my brain, not letting it go to waste. You know, reading, studying, thinking, not watching, spectating, being an observer. No, you got to be a player in this game. If the world is a game, you got to be a player in the game, not a spectator. All right, we'll leave it there for now. Have a good rest of your day, and until next time.